Look, Rio, we've had this conversation before. When it gets to this stage in the season and you're chasing the title, it's about doing enough. And today, they just did enough, and that is enough at this stage.
Yeah, and with the squad rotation, the match finish today, Keita comes in, scores the goal. Superstars left out of the team for midweek. But I think it's just about getting this job done. They've done enough. They were never, ever at any moment in trouble. Newcastle didn't really pose any threat to them defensively. And they could quite easily on another day probably got another 2 or 3 goals if the finishing was a bit more decisive. But this is what you want, not too much energy expenditure. Go out there, do enough, next game, roll on.
We all look forward to the day when the away fans are allowed a little bit closer to the pitch.
So
I think here at St James's Park, but credit to them. They've made the trip in fine voice throughout. They've played their part so far this season as well.
Listen, you struggle to get a ticket anywhere when Liverpool play now. I think, this is the business end of the season. There's so much at stake. This could be a momentous season for Liverpool. They're on potential of real greatness, and that is just another step, another one ticked off, a potential banana skin that they've just navigated again.
Look, it didn't quite click for his side today, did it?
No, it was frustrating actually watching Newcastle because we said before the game they've nothing to lose today. Have a goal, second half. They didn't really go and create any chances. They were poor going forward, and Eddie will be disappointed. But sometimes, Jake, you're up against a fantastic opposition, and that's what Liverpool are. They're a great team, great squad of players, and it was difficult to play against today.
Come on, Rio, he'll be watching the game, won't he?
Trust me, all eyes will be on that TV screen when they're playing, 100%. You can't help it. Or you're definitely listening, or you're in a WhatsApp group where you're just telling people to tell you what's happening. I couldn't actually watch the games against opponents, but everyone's different.
Look, we've got a big game next Saturday. Tottenham up against Liverpool. Take us into what this feels like, because from the outside it feels like a kind of sudden death penalty shootout. One mistake and it's over. What's it like when you're in the middle of it?
It's who finishes first. I think it's difficult. I think we had it when Man City, they caught us and they ended up winning the league. But you play, and every game is pressure, and it can be nervy, and all you're hoping for is to get an early goal. And Liverpool got that today, and then it was cruise control, and they just managed the game, which is the way you want to do it. And like I said before, not exerting too much energy is key as well. But now City, it's their turn, and I think City players would have been watching this game at the beginning, and a lot of them, the goal goes in, you go, right, that's it, because they know this team ain't going to flinch.
And as an opposition player, did you ever talk about it if a team were in the title race? You say, come on, look, let's exploit this. Let's really put the pressure on them. Let's worry them.
Yeah, it's a chance to make an impact on a Premier League season. Sometimes even these Newcastle players today, right? They're safe. They're middle of the table. They've got nothing really left to play for, but they can have an impact on a title race. I mean, what more do you want? I mean, it's a chance for them to put themselves on the map, and I think there'll be more teams thinking that way towards the end of the season.
And the goal tells that story of the changes making the difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's first and foremost, it's a fantastic goal. You can debate the if it's a foul or not. I don't think it's anywhere near a foul. It's a great tackle from Milner, but it epitomises what they're about. They lose the ball, retrieve straight away. The reaction, that's what you're there for. It's a great tackle. They get it out wide here, and I think if you target, you see him here as the left back, and he hasn't got anyone else coming on the outside. The fullback isn't coming out, but you'd see a Trent maybe, so he's got to worry about that. He always got to worry about is the man in front of him. And that's Naby Keita. But what he doesn't do, he doesn't follow him. The ball comes inside. And to be fair, it's a really good ball from Naby Keita. Plays it inside and then runs. But as a fullback, you've got to just follow your man there. As I said, there's no one else to muddy the waters or create a grey area. Do I go with the runner or go with the man inside? You go with the man who's in front of you. He doesn't do that. As the ball's played, look, as soon as he doesn't do that, that space is on. He's the wrong side of him. And to be fair to Keita, from this point on, this is what you call cool as you like. Calm. Player coming in, hasn't played many games. To be this composed in this situation, Crashy said he sent a few out of the stadium. Oh, see you later.
He sent 3 men there, the goalkeeper and the 2 men on the line. But I think that's confidence. He's took a little bit of stick since he's arrived, for a lot of money. And I think now he's really, really finding his feet in this team. And I think that showed it now how confident he is at the moment.
Total domination, in truth, from Liverpool. They could have had far more than one goal today, couldn't they?
Yeah, I would say Dubravka's probably the Newcastle's best player today, the saves he made on the day. And that shows probably the performance wasn't up to the previous 6 performances here at home when they won the game. So, Eddie will look back over the next couple of days and think where they can improve. Could he have made maybe more changes in the second half we spoke about off air, but a bit frustrating from a Newcastle point of view.
But it's how good Liverpool are. This is how good they are, Peter. They can dominate like this.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Newcastle, let's not forget how far they've come, I think. They were relegation for it. Everyone thought they would go down. I think defensively, I know Liverpool had a lot of shots. They had chances, possibly could have scored more.